Baby Dragon Mama. Copyright October the 23rd, 24th, 2008. My father had always favored his favored daughter, my sister, considerably more than his less favored son, me. Thus, when the dragon goddess His, the mousetrap goddess, announced the return of her court, where she would dispense her favors for a negotiated price, I took notice. I went into her divine cavern and negotiated my deal. I would get to be the daughter I would have been if 30 years earlier I'd been conceived as a female human egg. The price would be that once a year, during the dragon rutting period, I would serve as a vessel for the creation of a new dragon life. I knew that meant that for 45 days each year I would turn into a dragoness, be mated, carry an egg, and deliver it into the care of Hiss's midwives. That seemed a small enough price to pay in order to secure my place in the eyes of my dad. So when I emerged from the divine court, I was pleased to discover my family knew nothing of Jerry, their former son, but was well aware that their daughter, niece, and sister, Jarina, had emerged safe from a conversation with some erotic, omnipotent dragoness named Hiss. I got on with my altered gender, and when the rutting season began, quickly swelled and grew into an ill-tempered dragoness, just like any other dragoness during the rutting season. I did the dragon things that came naturally to me during those days. Then it was back to my interrupted woman's life for the next while, till I went into rut again. I settled into this role, and when one of Hiss's chamber maids, dragonesses, needed a favor, I made my next career move and aided her. In gratitude, she got me to spend my 45 days as a huge, scaly flame breather in Queen Hiss's court, where I gave my input on the human condition as a dragoness who spent some as a female of the Homo sapiens species. So after several years, my human sister approached Hiss with plans to make use of Hiss's connections to our family to advance her own interests. I'd learned that with Hiss, you have to be prepared to give up something of yourself in order to get Hiss to give you what you wanted. In my case, I'd given up about 15% of my humanity in order to make more use of the remaining 85% I still had. So I accompanied my sister to Hiss to cover Hiss's cavern when her court was again in session. My sister was a much better dealer than I had been, and not only did she keep all her human form, but got a touch of immortality to go along with the newly acquired wealth-generating skills my sister had bargained out of Hiss. My sister came out of her audience with the goddess pretty smug and sure of herself, and charged off to be the new apple in my father's eye. Meanwhile, Hiss had asked her aides to detain me from leaving, while she digested the fact my sister had gotten the better of the deal. Hiss finally saw me and told me in her own peculiar words that she'd planned to be very generous in the terms of non-humanity she had planned to bestow upon my sister, and my sister had conned her, the dragon goddess. The giant dragon towering over me told me that although she couldn't seek satisfaction from my human kinfolk, when my transformation into a dragoness occurred again, I'd certainly want a friendly dragon goddess as an ally, just in case I developed issues during that state of mind. I chilled down to my bones as I realized Hiss could do what she pleased with my life, mind, and body, as well as the new life within me during my rutting period. So I meekly accepted Hiss's offer to me, the one she'd meant to reward my sneaky sister with. I knew not to interrupt, and so let her make her own decisions, and then she made her move on me.